Hey, everybody, welcome back to Conversations in Ken's Cafe. We got a special guest on from the UK where it's illegal for cannabis, which it shouldn't be. So he can't show his face, so we're just going to have his beautiful visual there, his mushroom hat. We've got Mackie on with us. And Mackie, tell the people a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, first off, you're not missing much. It's just an avatar. It doesn't look much different than that. So, that's unfortunately, we have to hide being here in the UK because we're still living in the Stone Age and we seem to be regressing even further backwards. I mean, I'm sure you guys in Canada and the USA hear about the crazy laws that we have here in the UK now. So it's at a point where even if cannabis was legalized, I would still be reluctant to show my face just because of some of the things we say when we do our live streams. It's like we can be arrested for saying random things nowadays. So it's not just about cannabis anymore. It's about trying to stay anonymous just for the sake of you might say something that's offensive to somebody and end up with 2 years in prison for it. Just saying.
Well, even typing online, making comments, they're arresting people in the UK now. It's totally ridiculous.
Yeah. Airstrip 1 from 1984. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But just before we carry on, Ken, you said you wanted to make that interview you did on my show public. That's public now. I've just done that while the intro was going on.
Oh, skills. Okay, guys. I did an interview with Mackie here a little while ago. You guys can go to his YouTube channel and find it there as well. And of course, he does a lot of interviews with a lot of different people. If you go to highonhomegrown.com, you can find all of his podcasts as well. And there's some very fantastic stuff and on legalization in Canada, the US, etc. So it's not just, talking about one thing. It's covering a lot of topics that need to be talked about.
Indeed, yes. We covered lots of stuff. Like the show's been going for like 5 years now, and we do an average of one interview a week. Let's just say one interview a week. So that's like 250 interviews. But we more like do 2 most weeks.
Cool.
So, yeah, lots of interviews have been put out there. I just enjoy talking to people about, and I say about cannabis. That's just one of the things we talk about on the show. We do like to go on random tangents and talk about anything that pops up, really.
Yeah,
good times. It's good fun. It's cool to be the host of a podcast. I'm sure you know the feeling, Ken.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun because you get to listen and learn about all kinds of different things from different perspectives. I love talking to people. I don't want to be the normal talking head on these videos. I like to interact. And that's where, doing podcasts is so fantastic. And I know you have a whole crew that you bring on and cover news globally, etc. So, I've seen you've had Clackamas Coot on. You've had Marco from Marco Grows. A lot of different names. I was going through some of them.
Legends.
Today.
Absolute legends. It's incredible, the list that we've had. We've had DJ Short on, Shanti Baba, Tommy Chong. Graham Hancock has been on the show, which was fucking awesome. Frenchy Cannoli, R.I.P. He's been on the show. Even Milo Young as well, R.I.P., the guy who made the cheese seed way back in the day. We've been so privileged to have such just a vast array of different people on the show. It's absolutely incredible. It's sometimes I'm sure, as you're aware, you do a podcast as well. You just grind, don't you? You just keep going through the motions and getting things done. Sometimes it's hard to just stop and reflect on what you've accomplished so far, to appreciate what you've done, and sometimes I do that. Sometimes I stop and smell the coffee, smell the ganja, and realize, fuck, I've interviewed a lot of fucking people, man. That's like legends, man. Legends.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You get imposter syndrome, because I'm just some random guy from the UK, and it's just, I've got a crazy black book full of all of these contacts. Jorge Cervantes, who I message on my WhatsApp. He's on my WhatsApp in my phone. Just message Jorge Cervantes, man. It's crazy. Crazy.
Well, it's amazing how, this plant has brought so many people together in knowledge and in awareness and in a community that's absolutely amazing in some ways and absolutely dark and mysterious in others.
Yeah, yeah. But luckily, I don't get much of the dark and mysterious bits about it. I get a lot of good from the cannabis community. I think it's because I'm still anonymous, so I don't get fully involved like other guys do. You know, so I'm pretty lucky in that aspect. I think.
Yeah. Well, like Mad Dog says here,
Fucking shut up,
professionalism
Mad
at its
Dog.
best.
Shut up. They troll me. They do, Ken. These listeners, they follow me around on these streams and just take the piss out of me because sometimes things might go a little bit wrong. You know, when you're live, things
Yep.
happen. You know, the wrong
Oh,
button gets pressed. You know,
yeah.
things happen, and people like Mad Dog, they don't let me forget about these things. You know,
I
they like
know
to
he's
troll.
after us as well, man. It's not just
He's a
you,
legend.
man.
He's a legend, man. He's a good man. He's over.
Yeah.
You see him on all these different shows. Shows a lot of support for the cannabis community.
Yes.
And you know, it's easy to just
Yeah.
remember all these guys who are on camera or running the podcast and stuff. And it's easy to forget about the guys who are there on every show just supporting the community. Mad Dog's one of them, man. He's a legend of the community, and he doesn't get enough acknowledgement for it. We appreciate you, Mad Dog. Thanks for being there, bro.
Definitely. And that's the thing. Like he's on all of our podcasts. I saw him on Future Cannabis Project all the time. And it's the support of our community that really keeps us going. You know, it's every day, you know, I'm reaching out to people and doing this and doing that. And I know you are as well. And it's not just for us. I don't do this for me. I don't make, you know, any money at this, you know, like maybe $25 or $100 every 3 to 4 months doesn't cover any of the costs I put out. But I want to help people and share. And like it's not just about the cannabis. For me, it's about all the biology, all the plants, whether we're smoking it or eating it. I want everything to be healthy, so it's good for us.
Yeah, cannabis is a beautiful, beautiful plant. It's one of those miracle substances that we're lucky to have.
Yes. Yeah. And it's been around, you know, for thousands of years helping us. And most people don't understand that, you know, if you eat a piece of chocolate, it actually produces THC in your body, just like, you know, if you're smoking a big blunt, you know, it's putting that THC in. But, you know, consuming anything like that, your body naturally produces THC. It's amazing how it's been kept illegal for so long.
Yeah, but it seems to make sense though when you know how much you can actually do and how the world is run by these corrupt people. You know what I mean? We've seen from that list recently. We won't say which list. I'm sure everybody knows what we're talking about. But that list came out and it shows what kind of people are running the world, man. So it makes it more obvious why cannabis is illegal. And it's not for any good reason. It's because they don't want us having access to such an amazing substance.
Well, and you look at, you know, we go back in history, the Boston Tea Party, but it was never about.
Oh, what'd you have to bring that up for, Ken? What the...
Well, I mean, like, hey, like, it's all about the hemp, right? You know, but that's how they've changed the reality into some fantasy that they've created, and they've been doing it for how many tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, man. It's a shame to see how cannabis isn't appreciated the way it should be. I mean, we have the cannabis community, of course, and we all appreciate it because we've been using it or involved in it in some way for quite a long period of time for many of us. But there's people out there who still suffer with the stigma that there's just been pushed down us for generation after generation for 100 years now, and people don't realize what they're missing out on. It's like I see cannabis as kind of a superfood. You know, it's so important to the human body. It's like vitamins and minerals. It's needed, you know, or vitamins as you guys call it. You know,
I like vitamins anyway.
Vitamins, yeah. Jesus. I don't sound like that, do I, Ken?
Oh, much worse, much worse.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's the truth because, you know, the cannabis plant has so many different uses, you know, and it's not just, you know, the benefits for the human body, but they used to feed our animals the hemp,
Mhm.
and they were so much more healthy. And then when we consumed them, that would give us the health in our bodies. And they legalized or made it illegal to even have a hemp plant. And yet before that, the farmers legally had to grow hemp
Mhm.
to survive. And then all of a sudden, the money guys got in, the cotton industry, etc., got in there, and they flipped the switch and went, no, you can't have this. We're going to make it illegal. And
Mhm.
I know you do a lot of stuff on the legal end. Is the U.S. has went from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3? Is that really something that's going to help us?
I don't know. I wouldn't even. I think that the only reason why anything really gets done in cannabis nowadays is because it benefits somebody up high in some way. So the reason that it's been moved to Schedule 3 is because it benefits the guys on the top. If it benefits up, it doesn't matter if it benefits us or not. It's about if it benefits them, and it's obviously going to benefit them in some way. That's why it's been moved down to Schedule 3. It's fucked up, man. This is the kind of game we have to play. It's ridiculous. But
Well,
I don't know. Hopefully it will work out for the better for everybody. Hopefully, I think it's a step that has to be taken because it's not just going to go from Schedule 1, which was ridiculous while it was there in the first place. But it's not just going to go from that to fully legalized or decriminalized. I know that's what we want to see, but it's just
Mhm.
not realistic to think in that way. There obviously is going to be gradual steps towards full legalization, decriminalization, and descheduling. It's just going to be gradual steps. And I think Schedule 3 is the natural step for it to be taken before it moves on to full legalization and descheduling. But that's just my opinion. I don't know shit about this. I'm in the UK, so I don't really know. But that's what I would assume. I don't think it will make
Yeah.
too much difference because, as you know, it was federally illegal in the USA anyway, but there's loads of states that have legalized for recreational and medical. So even though it's changed to Schedule 3, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference on the state level. The states are still going to do their thing, regardless of what federal says, which we've seen because it was illegal federally for a long time.
Well, and that's the thing. It's the logical step. It's kind of going into what happened in Canada, where it went federally medical, and
Hmm.
then it went federally where it's legal. I think it's the steps that need to be taken,
Yeah.
and as far as I'm concerned, it should not even be on any schedule. It's just
Hmm.
another freaking plant, like whether it's a tomato, or basil, you know, but then you look at how the government's tried to make oranges and vitamin C, prescription
Vitamin
only.
C. Vitamin C.
So vitamin C,
Say it properly now, Ken.
Oh yeah. It, I love the way that the English talk properly until they're not talking properly.
Absolutely. Can you speak proper English like what I can? Gosh, yeah.
Yes,
It's
but then
crazy.
are you actually speaking proper English?
Man, yeah, it's a strange language, but it's the whole it's guttural stopping is what it's called. Guttural stopping. When
Yep.
they don't pronounce T's properly and things like that. Bottle of water, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Tomato or tomato?
yeah, but it's tomato, right?
It all depends where you live.
Yeah. When we, as you said, we have a vast panel on our show. We have people from all around the world on the show. We got right now we have John, who's from Minnesota in the USA. We have Margaret, who's from Canada, and we have Billy, who's from the UK. A new guy called Smears dropped him on the panel. He's from the UK as well. So we all have these different dialects and these different things that we say, and the way we
Yeah.
pronounce words and the way we spell certain words. We always argue about these things. It's quite funny. It's one of the things we do on the show. Is like, you didn't say that properly, John. You didn't spell it properly, John. You're supposed to put a U in that. And yeah, he just can't get his head around it. He's in the chat now. What's up, John? Yeah, I'm talking about you, bro. Yeah.
Cool. And like he's saying, not properly, damn it, it's just spelt different. right? But
Yeah, but you need those extra letters for it to be sounded properly, you know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and I know when I grew up and I was like, I read from a very, very young age, and I was reading, a lot of adult books, etc. Not those adult books, but like,
Well,
I
not
was,
just those adult books, you mean?
well, those I was reading, I
There
was
was a
looking
few
at
of them.
pictures,
We all read those back in the day.
but that was just the pictures. I wasn't bothering to read anything. But I was sounding out the words by the way it was spelt, and there was like you'd be all over the place with how these pronunciations were.
Pronunciations. There you go, Ken. There we go.
Yep. And then kick the Vikings to the curb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so let's get back on to this.
Yeah, apologies for the tangents. That's how we roll. We'll be back there again soon. But sorry, you were saying, Ken.
So where do you see the education that you're putting out? Like, you've had all these fantastic guests on. What's really the message that you and your channel are putting out for people?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, really, but I don't know. I would say the proper answer for that is essentially the overall message, because we're still in places where it's illegal to grow. He's just letting everybody know you're not a criminal for growing cannabis. Don't let them think that you're ever doing anything wrong by growing and producing your own cannabis. It's ridiculous. You're not a criminal. It might be against the law, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. We can't. These motherfuckers who are dropping bombs on children in the Middle East do not have the right to tell me what's right and wrong. And growing a few plants in a spare room for your own medicine, it's not wrong, regardless of what they tell you. And that's the overall message, is you're not a criminal. Grow your cannabis. It's the best cannabis you're ever going to have. You can go out and buy top shelf dispensary shit. And I came up with this quote like a few weeks ago on the show. It is like, the cheapest homegrown is better than the most expensive dispensary weed. You have to just grow your own shit. That's the best stuff you're going to get, man. So, and it's easy to do. It might seem difficult to start with, but that's just because you're not used to it. I play a lot of chess. When you first start playing chess, it can seem really difficult and how all the pieces move and things like that. But after a little bit of practice, it's fine. You can play. You don't even think about it. You just move the pieces. And it's the same with growing cannabis. It can seem really complex at first when you first start. But after a couple of weeks, you'll be fine, man. Just fucking figure out a way and grow some of your own cannabis. It's one of the best things you can do. You know what I mean? And you're not a criminal for it. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming most of the people in the UK aren't doing soil grown cannabis. Most are doing a hydroponic because it's a lot easier, to stick in a closet. But is that the norm over there, or is there?
No, I think things have changed a lot over the last 5 years, especially because we have a cannabis growers forum as well called percysgrowroom.com. And loads of people sign up there from all over the world. And we've seen just a massive rise in the amount of people growing in living soil now, organic soil, because it's easier to get. Back in our day, I've been growing for a long time, so 15 years, maybe more than that. I don't keep track of it anymore. But back in when I first started, this living soil thing just wasn't a thing. You had to build your own soil, and it wasn't easy to do that. Well, it is easy, but you have to know how. Again, it's like chess. It seems difficult at first, but once you get your head around it, it's fine. But now you've got companies where you can just go and buy this living soil. You got Dr. Organics in the UK. You've got Soham living soil. What other brands are there? Eco Thrive living soil. You can buy this stuff now. So there's loads more people heading in that living soil, full organic method of growing, which is good. I like to see that. But there's still loads of hydroponic growers as well. I'm sure there's been a surge in the amount of people growing organically in the UK, but there's still a lot of hydroponic growers as well. It just depends on what works best for people, because this is another thing we encourage. I like to say there's many ways to go swimming with a cat, because we like to get our sayings wrong over on the podcast as well. And you just have to figure out what's right for you. Some people might find growing in soil, living soil especially, that's their method. They enjoy doing that. They like top dressing. They like to water twice a week rather than every day. And some people, they're not going to be there throughout the week. So they want to have an automated setup going. So they pick hydroponics instead. And there's just so many ways to do it. You have to just figure out which method is going to suit you best and
Mhm.
then roll with it. There's no wrong way of doing it. As long as you're producing flowers at the end, you just have to figure out the method that works well for you. And it just takes a little bit of practice. Just figure something out. For me personally, I love growing in cocoa, and I've grown in DWC. I've grown in living soil. I've done organics, and I just find cocoa works best for me in my situation. I would love to grow in a raised bed, but in the UK, with it being illegal, you can get a knock at any time, like it's the housing association, or we've come to check the boiler, we've come to check the electrics to make sure,
Yeah.
and you have to pack everything away. And if you've got a raised bed, 1 meter by 1 meter, and it's all full of fucking 2 foot high of soil, you got the stones, you got some sand, you got the living soil, you got the organic layer on top of that. That's not movable. So when you get these knocks at the door, you're not able to hide this shit. But if you're growing in hydroponics, if you're growing in cocoa in pots, you can hide it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what method works well for me. But there's many people out there who are growing organically in the UK. Billy
Well,
Bonds, one of our panel members, he's one of those who grows organic. Just find out what
mhm.
works.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you have when you have to move, you have to move. One thing, like we were talking about the horizontal soil system for the last few weeks on the Soil Matters, which is
Hmm.
on It's All About the Biology's channel, and you can actually build that uh, organic uh, bed. So it's basically a raised bed, but you can build it in as small as a 6-inch pot,
Hmm.
and it's designed to have all the different layers of biology that are necessary for a plant to grow
Hmm.
and be healthy, to reach its genetic potential. So that might be something that you might look at in the future, or your audience could look at in the future. And I know
Hmm.
I sent Leighton Morrison the information um, to reach out to you to come on your channel to talk about this stuff. Um, and he had some health issues, so I don't know if he has or not, but his system is designed to actually create a living soil in in pots and raised beds,
Hmm.
etc.,
Yeah.
where it's got all the materials, the building blocks for any plant, and growing that healthy cannabis plant for your medicine. Like I eat mine. I don't smoke that much, but I consume for my back pain, etc. And I wanted to always have that healthiest, uh, medicine going into my body. I didn't want any, chemicals and excess salts and all of this other stuff that can end up in a cannabis plant, or in any plant. And that's where I went and made the choice to go with the living soil. But like as you said,
Hmm.
I took 8 months before I ever popped a seed to figure out exactly how I wanted to grow, and what
Hmm.
type of lights I wanted to use, and if I wanted to go soil, if I wanted to go hydro, cocoa, etc. And like I've done aeroponics, I've done microgreens, I've done worm farmings, I've done all these different methodologies over the years, ever before I got into growing a cannabis plant. And taking all that knowledge, it takes a long time to figure it out until you find somebody that actually can simply explain it. And that's why where I put this channel together, because people can actually learn how simple it actually can be, and it can be like really simple.
Hmm. It can be really simple. Like people underestimate how simple it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But you just have to find out what's right for you. I encourage people to head in that living soil direction. Definitely, that's the best way to do it. It's the most economically friendly way. You're gonna get just such a different style of cannabis. I think there's so many more minerals available to a plant growing in organic living soil with the proper mycorrhiza and all the bacteria in the soil. Yeah, it makes a difference, man. I think it makes a difference, but Cocoa. I've also produced high quality cannabis in cocoa as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely.
you just
And the
have to
thing
figure
is,
out what works right.
for a commercial, a lot of the times it's a lot simpler to grow that way because you're absolutely in control of
Hmm. Hmm.
everything. And so
Yeah.
you get a consistent product, where in soil, you can have different flavors profiles come out that you never expected, because all of a sudden you have these different compounds
Hmm.
available.
Hmm.
But it's like, I know a lot of people that have done both, and some of them will go back to growing, you know through hydroponics, etc. But the vast majority, once they taste it and they
Hmm.
have the sensation in their body, they never want to go back.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just like I said, the best way I would like to do it, my own personal, in the future, if we ever do legalize here in the UK,
Mhm.
then I would like to grow like Yellow Skunk Farms is growing. That raised bed with a little creek
Oh,
running through it. It's an incredible system of growing, just as natural as possible. Man,
yeah.
it's such a beautiful way to grow.
Well, and I know we had him on a few weeks ago, and he's actually coming on to a panel uh,
Nice.
in 2 weeks on Monday. We're having Tom Landry, who's a commercial grower using the horizontal system. We just had Travis on this last week, a commercial grower. And then, of course, Josh from Yellow Skunk Farms. And those three are coming on with Leighton Morrison, who's the one that developed the horizontal system. And we have a panel with the four of them coming up in two
Nice.
weeks. So it's going to be an amazing show.
Hmm. There's going to be a lot of information in that show.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
your notebooks ready, everybody.
And Tony, it's all about the biology. We're actually out of Canada. A lot of our hosts are out of the US, but we're an international channel where we help, or try to help, everybody from everywhere to grow healthy plants, not just the cannabis plant, but if you use the methodology, because I'm all about biology, because it's the biology that actually produces the cells in your cannabis plant. And without healthy biology, you can't have healthy cells in your cannabis plant, or any other plant, or any organic life form on our planet. So it's all a mash. And Mackie, you're into this stuff. You've been into it for years. What's your medical reason, or do you have an actual medical reason for using, the cannabis plant that you're using?
I'm lucky enough to not have to use cannabis for medical use. I just use it because I love the fucking taste of some of these strains, man. Fuck.
Oh,
It's so good. Some
yep.
cannabis just tastes so good. I've got a long history with cannabis. I've been using cannabis for 25 years or something like that now. And
You're not that
for a
old,
long,
are you?
yeah, I'm 41 years old, everybody. 41. Yeah. Just so you all
Oh,
know.
you
Ah,
baby.
yeah, whatever. I don't feel that way, you know. But so I've used cannabis for a long time, and for a long time, for 20 years or so, I had just a ridiculous relationship with cannabis, where I just consumed so much. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't respect it. I just smoked a ridiculous amount of cannabis, and then when I did start to grow 15 or so years ago, and then I had just abundance of it. Oh, man, I would go through 7 grams of cannabis a day. Just roll a joint as soon as I got up. I'll be smoking 3 joints before midday. I would just be smashing through a ridiculous amount of cannabis. But a few years ago, I just quit. I was like, I've had enough of this. I don't want to have this bad relationship with cannabis anymore. I want to try and fix up. So then, yeah, just quit. And now I consume cannabis a couple of times a week, whenever I feel like I want to taste some of this delicious goodness, this fine cannabis. But my wife, on the other hand, she does suffer with a lot of back pain, so she consumes cannabis for a medical reason, and she's actually one of those legal medical users in the UK, because you can get cannabis medicinally, legally, if you jump through all the government hoops, and she's jumped through all the necessary hoops, so she can get prescribed cannabis. So yeah, so she does use it medically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I have to use it medically now, but when I was, back in the late 70s, early 80s, I was just smoking it because, I was a kid and I was smoking it because I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Never thinking that, even back then, and like you're saying you're not using it medically, but as soon as you put that into your body and you're interacting with your endocannabinoid system, it can be considered medical use, because it makes you feel better.
Yeah, but in the same
How do you
way,
want to look at it?
yeah, people say that, and sure, I can understand their perspective, but that can be said about anything. Then it's like I also enjoy
Yeah,
drinking whiskey; it helps me relax. Does that mean I'm using whiskey medicinally?
yeah,
You know?
because there's a reason you're using it.
Yeah, but
It,
that
it,
can be
it
said about foods
semantic.
as well, different foods. Yeah, it's. I think if somebody is using cannabis to treat a specific ailment, like
Hmm.
they can't sleep, they want to increase their appetite, maybe they have epilepsy, they're treating cancer, Parkinson's. If they've got an actual medicinal reason to be using it consciously, I think that's when it's used for medical use. Sure, it
Yeah,
can be considered as medicine because it's helping you relax or something like that. But I don't know. There's lots of things that can help you relax that are not considered medicine. And I think that's how cannabis should be treated as well. If it's being used consciously as a medicine, then yes, it's a medicine.
mhm.
Otherwise, it's just something you enjoy, like coffee. Is coffee considered a medicine? It wakes you up in the morning, gets you stimulated, gets you up and running, makes you start your day. But is it
It all
considered a
depends on
medicine?
the
No, it's
person.
not. Yeah. Well,
You know,
I don't know. Does anybody use coffee as a medicinal use?
I think most truck drivers use it as a medicinal substance because it keeps us
Hmm.
awake, right?
Maybe, yeah. Hmm.
Well,
Gosh.
being a truck driver for 20 years, believe me, coffee, it was that stimulant to get you going in the morning, but then
Hmm. Hmm.
let's just look at it as, we're all have PTSD, especially after the vid stuff. We've all got PTSD. So anything we use is medical now.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. But because we did all suffer, gosh, I think we're all still, the whole world's still suffering from the after effects of that. Just a quick shout out to
Oh,
Benny in chat, though. What's up, Benny Ben? Hope you're doing well, bro. And Firefly. I'm sure Firefly is there as well.
yep.
What's up,
Yep.
Firefly? What's up? J5444 fucking J5420 is also there. What's up, bro? Hope you're good. Who
And of
else we got
course,
in the chat? Let's
Gilbert's
see.
here.
Chilbert, what's up, man? Is that on? I didn't see him in the YouTube chat. But yeah, shout out to Chilbert. Hope you're all good, bro. It's been a while. I hope life's treating you good, bro. Who else is out there? Look at this. Just Jeff. Sup, Jeff? My name's Jeff. John Collison is there. Shout out to John as well. Mad Dog, obviously. Honest Scarpa was there as well. Vark Dog. Nice. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Sorry, Ken,
Well,
you were saying.
Well, and I wanted to thank the people coming from your channel, and you. I know you reached out to and put the show out to your people, and I really appreciate all you guys coming and joining us on the channel today. It's always a pleasure to have new people come and join the conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
we do so many things, to reach out to people, to explain, the benefits of this plant, and to expose a lot of the different things that are happening around it. And I know you do a lot more, in regards to that than I do. I watched one of your episodes where you were talking about a bust in, I think it was Toronto. um, it's these things are still happening, and they
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be happening out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. But we just talk about things we enjoy over on High on Homegrown. On a Sunday, we'll do a live stream on a Sunday. And
Cool.
throughout the live stream, the first hour or so would be us covering cannabis news and events from around the world, from the USA, Canada, anyway, if there's a big story, then we cover it and we let people know about it. And then we discuss
Mhm.
all the news and stuff. And then we have it's supposed to be 10 minutes, but it usually goes for 15, 20 minutes where we call it the smoke break. And goddamn, we talk about random things. And if you download the podcast from iTunes, Spotify, all the networks, if any network you're on, you can download High and Homegrown from. If you download the episode, you never hear the smoke break. The smoke break is just for the live viewers. And man, the tangents we have, we talk about movies, music, politics, food, man, some crazy stuff. But then we have the for the last hour of the show, we have grow guides as well, where we discuss different aspects of learning how to grow your own cannabis. And we're on episode 76, 77 in this series. It's like the third series which we've done before. You know, we've discussed this a lot over the years. So yeah, we from episode 1 all the way up to episode 77 where we are now, we just take it step by step. So if somebody doesn't know absolutely anything about growing cannabis, like, oh, I want to get started, I want to learn how to grow my own, we cover it from the basics, like how to plan your setup, what you're thinking about getting, then what equipment to get, what strains to look at. We cover everything in a real simple way as well. We try not to use any scientific words and things like that. We just try and keep it real simple, because I feel as if you get too complex, it can put people off, like, oh, that sounds way difficult. You know, try high frequency fertigation is one of my favorites. It's like, that sounds complex. Just feed the plant more. You see how much easier that was? See, you're not scaring anybody off with any scary words, you know. So we try and keep it simple, just to try and encourage more people to be like, man, if these guys can do it, surely I can give it a go. And then more people get involved and grow more cannabis for themselves. That's what we want to see. You want to see more and more people growing their own cannabis, you know, because it's such a beautiful hobby. And it's very enjoyable, man. For everybody should be growing their own weed. If you consume cannabis, you should at least grow once, just so you know how the cannabis you consume is being produced, you know. But once you start, as Ed Rosenthal says, you know, cannabis isn't addictive, but growing it is, you know. So once you get started, it's very difficult to stop.
Well, I often tell people, you know, you start growing your medicine, and all of a sudden you're growing your garden and your food, because it's a natural progression. Once you enjoy growing, you want to grow more things. And, you know, it's so easy to grow, because, you know, you can literally buy some, you know, potting soil, stick a seed in it, and it's going to start to grow if it's a healthy seed. It can be that simple. Now, that's in a place where you have, you know, where you can actually grow it, and you know, you don't have to worry about the cops busting in and taking you away with it. But
it really is that simple.
Yeah.
It really is just that simple. And not even that. I mean, you can plant the seed in the ground.
Yeah.
And it will just do its thing. It's that simple, you know? And
well,
it's just crazy. Sorry, Ken, you were saying.
Yeah, well, just we had a question here. Question for Mackie: grapes and chicken soup, media,
meds or grub? Meds or grub is UK slang for food. You know, grapes. I don't know, bro. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. You know, if you're just enjoying them as a nice, tasty snack. But if you're ill and somebody brings you grapes, then you're going to eat them, aren't you? And that's going to help you feel a little bit better because of the vitamins and minerals in it. Chicken soup, it's a nice, tasty snack. Dip your toast in that. Delicious. But if you're ill, a little bit of pepper in there, you know what I mean? It's going to make you feel a little bit better. So it depends on the use. It depends on, and you're consciously using it then as a medicine in that specific way. You know, and I think that's what I'm trying to say is loads of things can be used medicinally as long as you're consciously using it for medicine. You know?
Well, and then you're looking at something that, okay, we'll just use the chicken soup. It's actually giving you the building blocks for your body to make more white blood cells to go out and fight the infection. And that's where I tell people it's, you know, when you're using your soil, you need to have the building blocks available for the biology to build the cells, healthy cells. That's what chicken soup is in your body. It's a different group of building blocks that is in the chicken soup. So if you want to have your health, you do things like that. If you want to have plant health, you want to do things like that for your plant. And that's sand, silt, clay, and organic matter. Those are the four. If you supply those to the biology and have the biology to use them, your plant's healthy, and you're not going to have aphids. You're not going to have white flies. You know, all the problems with our cannabis plant that we can get, you're not going to have those problems because you're going to have a healthy plant.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff in the chat said, "I need chicken soup." Yeah, now I feel like I want chicken soup. Thanks for bringing that up, Chilbert. And we have some chicken soup after this. But it brings up a good
Blue
point.
Dream. Forget the chicken soup. Go for the Blue Dream.
Yeah, I've just fired that up in my mighty. It was delicious. It's delicious. It's a nice Blue Dream.
Maybe you should make a strain and call it chicken soup.
What I would do one day when it's legalized here and I'm able to breed out loads of strains, because to properly breed strains, you want to grow out loads of phenotypes and pick the best. But imagine you're just doing a simple pheno run, you're trying to find a nice plant. So you plant 200 plants and then they come kick your door off, find you with 200 plants. That's mass cultivation. That's a complex cannabis factory. You may be looking at 4 to 6 years for that, when all you're doing is doing a pheno hunt. It's fucking ridiculous. We're playing on a different level here in the UK. It's such a fucking shame to see, because we all just get held back so much. There's so many good growers here in the UK that could do great things for the cannabis community, but we just have to sit here with our hands tied behind our back, unable to do what we want to do because the government said you're not allowed to, mate. It's ridiculous. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's like, because as I said, who are these motherfuckers to tell us what's right and wrong?
The ones collecting brown envelopes is who they are.
And
that's all they are. Like it's supposed to be government for the people, and the people are supposed to put these politicians in. But when you look at how I'm going to step back from that, because we can all get into trouble if we say too much. But it's the money behind things that are controlling things. Like, you think the medical industry, your doctors are taught to prescribe drugs and not to subscribe health or prescribe health, where it's the health that's needed. And no, we'll just give you this because it's going to produce all these side effects, and you're going to have to come back in there, and you're going to have to be on this drug and this drug and this drug.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the meme where the doctor says to the patient, "Oh, you have this ailment because of your lifestyle." And it's like, "Oh, so you expect me to go on a diet or go running?" It's like, no, just take these pills. It's like they don't encourage you to change your lifestyle so it's more healthy. They would rather just be like, "Oh, take these pills, take these pills. It's going to have these side effects, so take these pills as well." Big Pharma
and
makes
I'll
a lot
get my
of money
brown envelope in the mail. I'll get that vacation to the Bahamas.
Allegedly, it's good to just throw that in there sometimes. Just Cookie Grow mentioned in the chat, allegedly. If you just put that in the podcast a few times, doesn't matter what you're saying. Just now and again, just say allegedly, and it just cover your ass.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and that's why I have a disclaimer in the description. Okay. It's so bad that we have to have that kind of thing, to talk about reality. But then our reality and the truth isn't necessarily the reality that they want us to learn. It's their reality they're trying to push on us. That's like, the frying pan with the eggs sizzling and going, "This is your brain on drugs."
It's crazy the way they've just stigmatized it like that and just brainwashed generations of people to think that cannabis is bad. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I can understand there's people out there who are like, "Oh, I don't like the smell of it." And that's fine. I can understand. You don't like the smell of dog shit cheese. That's just you. That's your issue. But, you got to try and appreciate that. People don't like the smell of it. But that's the only reason you have. There's no other reason for it to be illegal. What, is mind altering? So's alcohol, completely legal. Oh, it's bad because you're smoking it. It's like so are cigarettes, but that's legal. So there's absolutely no reason why cannabis should be illegal, especially while alcohol and tobacco are illegal as well. And sugar, for that fact. I mean, you can have all the sugar you fucking want. And that shit's poison, man. It's actual poison. Yeah. If you carry on, you just can't have that cannabis. Like, man, fuck these people. They ain't got a clue.
It's all about the money and the power. And that's in everything, money and power. But somebody mentioned, I talked about the pharmaceuticals. I'm not against doctors. Doctors and nurses saved my life twice. I
Mhm,
wouldn't
mhm.
be here without them. It's not the surgeons in the hospitals, it's a
Yeah,
lot of the family practitioners that have been
exactly. Yeah.
programmed and
Mhm.
literally programmed to only do A, B, and C. Where in have you? I don't know if you've talked about how they flipped the food pyramid in the U.S.
Oh yeah, I've seen. We haven't spoke about it on the podcast, but I did see on some videos how they just like turned it upside down and be like, oh, and they even did a South Park episode about it, didn't they? Like, oh,
Yeah,
just turn it upside down, turn it upside. Yeah, that's it. It works now. These people ain't got a fucking clue what they're talking about.
well, and the thing is, it's always been, you know, pushing the different things, going, oh, this is bad for you, this is bad for you. Well, guys, if you don't know salt, if you don't have it, you're gonna die.
Hmm.
Okay, the salt that we eat, the table salt, is horrible for you because it's chemically modified, and
Hmm.
it's not healthy for you. And but if you're actually getting real sea salt, then it's all in proportion. It's just like you need salt in your soil, but a very, very small amount, because it's all about the molecules. And you need so many molecules of water in your cell, but yet we don't drink enough water, especially healthy water. Because if you're drinking city water, the chemicals they put in there is designed to kill biology or
Hmm.
bacteria. You drink it, it kills your gut biology that you need to break down the food you're eating. Does that make any sense to anybody when you actually start thinking about it?
Hmm. Hmm. It's madness, man.
Yeah.
Damn, but
Yeah.
salt, man. I love salt. It's like if people ask what my favorite food is, I usually say it's salt. Salt.
Salt
It's
and
like,
bacon.
man, it's salty bacon. Oh my god, crispy, delicious bacon. Oh man,
Yeah, now you
but
don't want soup, you want bacon now.
yeah, now I want bacon in soup. You know what I mean? Fry that bacon up, chop it up into, dice it into little squares, and then chuck that in the chicken soup. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, the wife took all the salt from me because I love salt so much. Right, I had a little stash of it in my desk drawer. So if I'm eating some food, I got a little sachet. You go to KFC or McDonald's or something, they got that
Yep.
food.
Yep.
It's got little sachets of salt. Grab a handful of that because we already pay too much for this shit. So handful of that, put that in my pocket, bring it home, put it in my desk. So had a nice little stash of salt in my drawer. But she came upstairs one time. I had high blood pressure when I went to the doctors. One time, she's like, "That's it, no more salt." She took all my fucking salt from me, man. Gosh, yeah.
Oh,
But what
it's
can you
it's
do?
amazing that because like I know let's see this comment here. The first thing a rancher puts out is what? A salt lick for his
Mm.
cows, for his goats, for his sheep, because without it, but then it's salt and minerals, because the
Hmm.
minerals content in a grain of good salt is astronomical
Hmm.
for the body, where the table salt that you're getting in those little sachets, my friend, is horrible for you. Tastes good, but it's
Yeah, that's it.
horrible. Sea
Tastes good.
salt,
That's what I care about. That's what
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
want it to taste good. The other stuff's a bonus, sure, but it's salt.
yeah.
What can you do? And the word salt as well. The word salary comes from salt from the Roman because the Romans used to pay people in salt, and
Yep.
that's where the word salary comes from. That's your salary because it's down to salt. Crazy, man. Salt. It's such an important substance. We just underestimate it. Get your
Yep.
salt, everybody. Don't listen to that doctor. Listen to the random guy on the internet. Eat salt.
And the thing is, it's the caveat again of good salt versus the chemical
Mhm.
salt that you buy that's iodized and all of these different things. It's like, do you guys use a lot of apple cider vinegar or white vinegar?
Not white vinegar. No, we have the brown stuff.
Okay, so the more of the
Mhm.
apple cider malt vinegars.
Delicious. Love it.
Yeah. Where here we have the white vinegar, and it's actually a petroleum product made from oil. It just has
What?
flavor added.
Oh, wow, really? That's fucked. See, like
Oh
drinking
yeah.
petrol. Well, not
Yeah.
drinking it. You don't drink vinegar, everybody. You putting this shit on your fries? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Well, the thing is, you look at a lot of the foods that you can get in the UK and a lot of the foods from the US that can't legally
Mhm.
ship to the UK or to Europe
Yeah.
because of the chemicals in them that you guys have
Mhm.
banned it all.
Yeah.
And these companies can't even ship to you. They have to change their formula 100% to make it so you guys will actually buy them because
Crazy.
of the regulations. It's so freaking crazy.
Mhm. And it's shit because I don't like the whole nanny state thing. Like the
Yeah.
government saying, "Oh, you can't have this, you can't have that because it's bad for you." And it's like, "Fuck you, man! I'm an adult. I have whatever I want." But at the same time, they shouldn't. Companies should not be putting shit that's known to be bad for us into our food and drink. It shouldn't be happening. Like we can't have Mountain Dew here in the UK. We have to have a
Mhm.
special version of it. We don't get the American version. Our Tango is different, or Fanta. Fanta is different.
Yeah.
Ketchup is different. You guys have Sweet Baby Ray's, and it's difficult to get over here in the UK because it's so bad for you. But of course, it's so bad for you because it's one of the most delicious things you'll ever eat. So of course, it's bad for you. But
Yep.
it's difficult to get that in the UK. It's not in every supermarket. But I love Sweet Baby Ray's. But it's important to make sure that we're eating or consuming things that are good for us. And I hate that the UK government has to step in and tell us what we can and can't eat. But at the same time, I appreciate that they do it. But it's not us they should be telling. It's the companies they should be telling. We should
Yeah.
be able to eat whatever the fuck we like, whatever is available to us. You need to make sure that the people are not putting poison out for the population to consume. That's what you need to make sure
Well,
is going on.
you look at the cannabis industry, the legal cannabis industry in North America, where the testing regimes they have to go through, no
Mhm.
heavy metals, none of this, none of this. That if they actually did that with the food on our shelves would be
Mhm.
empty,
Yeah, yeah, for real.
right?
Mhm.
But like Ghost Grow says here, this is why I grow my own. I know exactly what goes into my plant that I ingest, and
Absolutely.
that's really the key for growing your own is if you're
Mhm.
growing your own cannabis, you should be growing your own fruits and vegetables if you possibly
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
But
If
like
you can,
even,
definitely should.
yeah, even in an apartment, if you have a window, you can have some mint growing or something like that, and you can literally make a tea. You're going to get a bunch of nutrients in your body that you're missing, that you don't even know you're missing, by just growing some mint, there's so many things you can grow on a windowsill year round because you've got the
Mhm.
temperature in your house, and that's actually good for you.
That's right. It's important because as cannabis consumers, and a lot of people, as you said earlier, you start growing cannabis, but then you move on to gardening, like growing other things, just because you realize how easy it is to grow all this stuff. And if you do have the capability and the space, you should definitely be growing as much of your own shit as you can. Even
Yeah.
if possible, fucking grow some chickens, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it's got to be. It'd be. I like animals and stuff, so I'd be really, really sad. Like, oh, it's time for the chicken to die. I don't think I could do it. You know, I'm lucky enough
My
to just
wife
get to go
wouldn't
to the
let
shop.
me, man.
You know,
I could grow the chicken, I could harvest the chicken. She'd never eat it.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
That was my
yeah, yeah.
baby.
That was Jeff.
That
You
was
know what I
Tom
mean?
and Jerry.
Yeah, and this is the problem. We're lucky enough to not have to be able to do that. We can go to the shop and buy our foods. So it's
Yeah.
very lucky. It's a privileged position that we just take for granted so often, where we don't
Yes.
have to slaughter our food. It's done for us by somebody else. We never have to encounter that. But man, if you do have the heart for that, and you can grow your own chickens, maybe your own pigs, and the space, of course, then fucking
Yeah.
do so. It's what people have been doing for thousands of years. We're just lucky in the last 100 years, but we don't have to necessarily do that kind of thing. I've
Well,
never
and
had to kill an animal to eat it, which is,
yeah.
just a very lucky position to be in.
Well, and what happens if one day that the internet's gone, the power's gone,
Hmm.
there's no gasoline coming to the gas pumps, and everything goes back to where that food isn't coming into the store, and you have to
Yeah.
go out and you have to, support yourself and grow your own food. What happens if that actually happened on this planet right now? Would we
Hmm.
lose over
Not
95%
if,
of the
not if,
people?
it's when. When that
Yeah,
happens, this is inevitable. This is going to happen at some point. There'll be some huge solar storm that wipes everything out. There'll be some war. There'll be some cyber attacks. Something will happen where we are
yeah,
forced to go back to what we were 10,000 years ago, and we have to figure out agriculture again. It's going to happen at some point. It's inevitable. I think it's inevitable anyway. We have to just relearn all this stuff, and then this growing knowledge that you have is going to be important. You know.
and the thing is, if you didn't weren't doing it already, because there's not going to be any internet, how
Hmm.
you'd never find this channel, you'd never find this information unless you were already
Yeah.
doing it. It's amazing how if one thing goes wrong, that
Hmm.
the cities start to starve like very, very,
Yeah.
very quickly. We saw that with
Hmm.
the vid and how the supply chains broke down.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I think everybody needs to, and I don't like preaching, but just in case, just cover your ass, right? And today, go
Yeah,
on Amazon or whichever site you prefer, and just buy some of those books. Like, what wild herbs in my area can I eat? How to
yeah,
slaughter and kill an animal and skin it, and cook it, and use its resources. These kind of things. Like, if the world broke down, how would you survive? How do you know how to actually kill and cook an animal if you had
yeah,
to? Do you know how to grow the necessary foods? What if something goes wrong? When do you plant your seeds? What can you grow at which different times of year? What can you go and harvest from the trees and the bushes? Do you know
yeah,
this stuff? Because you don't need to know it now, but there could be a point. It might be tomorrow. We never know. This shit can just happen out of nowhere. Do you
yeah.
know that information? No, you don't. So get some books. You
Well,
don't
and
even
that's
need to
the
read
thing.
them, just have them.
Yeah, have a hard copy because
Mhm,
your laptop, if you can't get power, oh, I got all those videos on my laptop, but
mhm.
my battery's dead. I can't watch my videos.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah, and as I say, you don't even need to read the books, just have them, because then if it does happen, if the shit hits the fan, as they say, then you do have a hard copy where you can just get that book and be like, "Oh, shit, let me have a look at this," you know? How
yeah,
do I build a fire? You know what I mean? Just this stuff
yeah.
that we've forgotten how to do, you know?
Well,
And I
how do
don't
you
like
build a
preaching, but I
bow?
think everybody needs to be yeah, it's an important one. A bowl, knife and fork, it's just random shit that we take for granted. How do
Yeah.
you shit in the woods without contaminating everything? Do you know how? Do you,
How do you wipe your ass, boy?
you
When
know
you
what I mean?
you
You
don't
know
have
what I
any
mean?
toilet
What
paper?
leaves can you use for minimal irritation? You know?
Yeah. What's poison ivy look like? Because I don't want to wipe with that.
For real, man. For real. So it's important shit. You need the information, and because people would stock up on food and seeds and all this stuff, and it's like that's all good having that, but if you don't have the knowledge on how to use that stuff properly, then you're a little bit
Yeah.
fucked. So just having those books, just having them there, just in case. Yeah, I think that's just a good idea. That's my opinion. And I say that as somebody who doesn't have any of those books. So, it's a bit hypocritical at the same time. But I have
Okay.
cannabis books.
Well,
I have cannabis
you know,
books. But I always think
I
to myself, I should buy some of those books, but I never do. I never do. But it would be a good idea. You know?
yeah. And that's the thing is having the knowledge is if things do go south, or when they do go south, if you're the one with all that knowledge stuck in your head
Hmm.
already,
Yeah.
you're the chief of the tribe, man, because
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
the medicine man. You know all this stuff where everybody
Hmm.
else is going, well, what do I do? You have that knowledge. So, like my brain is so full of all this stuff. Like I'd be the king, okay, because
That's
I
right.
know it
I got
all.
30 wives.
Now I'm just
Oh,
a
yeah.
know-it-all, right?
But that's it. You know, one day it could become important. That's the thing. And
Yeah.
it's just better to have that knowledge just in case. You know, I do have the basic knowledge. I wouldn't like to survive in the wild when civilization has broken down, but I could for a while if I
Yeah.
had to. But damn, it would be shit. I really like electricity. You know.
I think we all do. I live in Alberta. It's cold as piss here in the wintertime. I like
Mhm.
my heat, okay?
For sure. That's right, man. I like my internal combustion engine. You know, I like these modern conveniences of have. I like a nice soft bed and a nice pillow with a good quilt.
Uh,
I like all this stuff. But man, you can't take it all for granted. One day it could just be gone, you know?
and one day things are changing on a global scale. You look at what's happening with our sun right now and some of the different solar flares and events
Mhm.
that are happening. We're one switch away from everything shutting down for, even if it's only for 7 to 10 days,
Yeah.
millions would die in that
Mhm.
7 to 10 days.
Well, they say 3 days without power and society will collapse.
Yeah.
Just 3 days, 72 hours. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think, but it's that fragile.
Well, you think, okay, you're cooking on your stove, whether it's electric, whether it's gas. If that shut off, how do you cook your food?
Mhm.
I have a wood burning fireplace that I has a cooktop on it, so I can survive. I can heat my house, I can cook my food, etc. I can survive, but everybody in the city that doesn't have that, how are they going to
Mhm.
survive? They're simply not.
They're gonna come and take your shit, Ken. That's what they're gonna do.
They'd have to find me first.
Exactly. That's right.
But then
Scary to
I
think.
I learned all this stuff when I was a kid. I used to teach hunters training. I used to teach how to, build shelters in the middle of winter and survive, and how to harvest, a moose, an elk, a deer, a rabbit. I learned all this stuff where, like you said, Mackie, yourself, you don't have this knowledge.
Mhm. Well, I have the knowledge. I can catch skin and
Okay,
cook
good.
an animal if I need to. I just don't have to. That's the thing. I've never
Yeah,
had to. I mean, I have skinned and killed animals and shit for some training I did way back in the day when I was a kid. But, you know, the knowledge sticks
yeah,
to you. It's reasonably simple. It's natural stuff.
yeah.
So if I had to, then yeah, I could. I just wouldn't want to. I mean, I feel so bad killing and skinning a deer and cooking it. I would enjoy eating it. Don't get me
But
wrong, delicious. But the process leading up to that, yeah, it would make me sad. But
yeah.
that's the way it goes. I think that's the way it goes. That's nature, man. That's nature.
And that's just it. It's nature is called predator prey. Somebody's always eating somebody else. We've just stepped back from having to do it with our own hands and go to
Hmm.
buy it at the store.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a meat eater. That's what that's what I like to eat. I know there's people out there who are vegans,
Yep.
vegetarians, and each to their own. Do your thing, you know. Do whatever you like. It's your life. But I really like meat, and the missus she'll serve to me like meat with some vegetables, and I'm like, what's this? What? This isn't food, you know. My
What's this
food
green
has
shit?
eaten these vegetables, so I don't have to. Just give me the meat. Jesus, Jesus.
I know myself. I'm mainly carnivore myself as well, because
Mhm.
I don't have any green fluid running through my veins. It's all red, and that's a
Mhm.
meat thing,
That's right.
But if you really look at it and you take it down to the level where I have, where everything's built from cells, all those cells have biology, which are living creatures. So all those plants have cells, they have biology, which are living creatures. So
Mhm.
if you're on this kick of, oh, I'm a vegetarian because I don't want to, eat dead animals, or I don't want to kill animals. Every bite you're taking, you're eating biology, which is animals. So yeah, I know I'm
I
going to
don't
piss a
know.
lot of people off with that statement.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm
it's
going to
the
make it even
reality.
worse. I'm going to piss a lot of people off. So I don't think anybody is really a vegetarian. You know, it's like everybody says, "Oh, I don't masturbate." You liar. You lie. These motherfuckers, they're sneaking a hamburger now and again. Are you telling me you sniff fucking bacon sandwich cooking? You're not going to take a bite? No, I don't believe it. I, I don't believe it, man. Steak? I don't believe it. Every now and then, maybe every week or so, I don't know, every day maybe. I'm not judging. You do you, as I say. But these vegetarians who claim, yeah, I haven't eaten meat for 30 years, nah, I don't buy it, man. Every week or so, you're going out there, you know, you're driving back from work, the missus is at home, kids are at school, nobody knows. It's gonna nip to the Mackie D's here and grab myself a fucking cheeseburger. Yeah.
Like J Dog says, bacon.
But you know, maybe not. But if I was a vegetarian, that's what I would be doing. You know,
That's why you're not a vegetarian, Maggie.
That's right. But yeah, so there you go. Don't worry, Ken. You might feel as if you're pissing people off, but I can make it worse and make him pissed off at me. So don't worry, I've got you back. You know?
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's very wonderful of you, you know. Well, Mackie, we're at an hour. I know it's late in the UK for you. I know it's after 9 o'clock there. I don't know if you want to jump off or you want to keep going, or you know, how are you feeling?
Easy. It's your show, Ken. I'm happy to carry on for another hour or so. It's completely up to you. Well, I don't want to keep you as well. If you got things to do, then go do your thing, man. I am easy. I'll just sit here consuming my mighty, sipping on my whiskey.
You're easy, but you're not cheap, or are you cheap and still easy?
Both. It depends on the day. Saturdays, you've got me, mate. So it's
depends on what she's wearing, too, right?
That's right. It's a weekend, so I'm cheap and easy. Let's go.
Oh man, that was too funny. That's too funny. But it's the truth, really, when you think about it. You know, like I tell my wife that, you know, I'm, you know, cheap. Or no, she says I'm cheap. I say, no, honey, I'm frugal. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But anyway, actually, I do have some other things that I need to get to, and so I'm gonna have to. We can go for about another 20 minutes or so, and then
cool. As I
jump.
say, whatever's good with you, Ken. I'm happy, whatever, mate. I'm happy, whatever.
Well, you know, if I get off now, then I got time to do a couple of other things. But Mackie,
cool.
I so much appreciate your coming on and giving us an hour of your time. We'll have to do this again another day as well, because it's just such a fun time to talk to somebody from, you know, over the pond that has the same attitude as I do, which is absolutely crazy.
I'm not crazy, but yeah, I just love chatting with people. You know, just especially people who enjoy cannabis the same way I do. You know, so I appreciate the conversation. And anytime you want me back, just let me know. We'll sort it out.
Cool. Well, fun. Do you know what the difference between sane and insane is?
I do. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
That's pretty much insane. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know if you've ever had chocolate covered frog legs. To me, that's totally insane. But it's normal for somebody else. So that's sane for them, totally insane for me. Perspective is what sanity and insanity really is.
Yeah, I don't know about that. There's that French people eat strange things, bro.
Hey, man, everybody eats strange things. Blood pie and you know, things like that. You know, there's the English eat too. That it's a little on the bizarre side.
No, but there's a South Park episode about that as well. You know, the fuck you dolphin, fuck you whale, with the Japanese guys who would eat dolphin and whale, and we think it's weird, but it's not weird. You know, we eat cows and shit. That's weird to them. It's
well, exactly,
you know,
and that's where the difference of sane and insane really is. What's normal for you is not normal for the next door neighbor.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, guys. As for the channel, we've got should have Dr. Paula Ruffin on, our local chiropractor, coming on with a show tomorrow. And of course, we've got the more on the horizontal soil system with Tom Landry on Monday, talking about his commercial growing cannabis in a horizontal bed system. And the results he's having are absolutely phenomenal. But guys, thanks, Mackie, for coming on. Thanks, chat.
It's been a pleasure.
Everybody.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you guys next time.